name is Fumi Bangala. This is the Daily News Review program on the Full Breakfast Show this morning. It's a beautiful day to be alive. It's a beautiful day to be sharing this morning with you. Of course, it's always a delight to be doing so. The time right about now is 29 minutes to 8, and today being Tuesday, the 10th of March, 2026. Whew, it's Women's Month. Hope you're good. Hope you're celebrating the women in your corner, celebrating the women at your office, in your family, wherever, Sha, because this is our month, right? Mothering Sunday is literally on Sunday. So I hope you're doing everything in your power to make sure that you're celebrating the women around you, whether they're single, whether they're married, whether they have children, whether they don't have children, whether they're stay-at-home moms, whether they're working moms, whether they're ambitious moms, whether they're business women, entrepreneurs, market women. The list is endless. Teachers, doctors, whoever they are, celebrate them to the fullest because we deserve to be celebrated. We get to you during your own month, men. Okay. And we did celebrate men last year, so what is good for the goose is good for the gander over here. Okay, let's get into it. You already know that on the Daily News Review program, we run through the headlines and then we tackle the ones that caught our eye with our analysts. We're still expecting our analysts to join us this morning, but I'm just going to run through the headlines for this morning, starting off with the Punch newspaper. U.S. warns citizens of fresh terror threat in Nigeria. Next up, we have Rivers Assembly defends rejection of Fubara's 4 nominees. That's happening in Rivers State. In the Guardian newspaper, we have Ogun. Federal agencies fine-tune security for gateway about. Find Rose at WFM 917 on YouTube. You will see her. You will see her there and realize. So today she has wine. If you see her with another color, you will not understand what is going on behind the scenes. But I'm already told that I want to be like her. So yeah, Rose, it's good to have you this morning.
Okay, it's good to be here.
You can take the next headline.
All right, so let's head on to the next headline. I believe you're done with the Punch.
The Punch. Am I not the Punch? Let me confirm. Yes, I am. Yes.
All right. So heading on to the Guardian newspaper, Ogun, federal agencies fine-tune security for Gateway Airport's Hajj operation. So this Ogun and his airport is just everywhere. See how you're doing your face. Tomorrow that you will say, I'm an edition of Ogun, but you see, that will not stop me from, you see, now that they're doing good things now, you better accept it. And
no, to be fair, somebody, I was asking about the Abeokuta Ota Expressway, and apparently it's being done. I was like, okay, I will not abuse him too much. That's what I literally said. So yeah, but here's the thing: this is only done because of Hajj operations. Something is happening which is causing this to happen. Do we always have to wait for things to happen before we do them? Because they know that Muslims will drag them because you know that we are going to go to Mecca. We're going to go to and so you have to make sure that the road is the way for us to go is good. So okay, I celebrate it.
All right, heading on to the next one on Guardian. 3 killed, 6 injured in multiple crash in Lagos Abeokuta expressways. This is quite sad.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, like I said yesterday, there's been quite a few accidents that have been happening, and I don't know. It is well. But as you go on your on the road as a motorist or as a passenger, as someone who uses public transport, please be careful. If your spirit does not go with that vehicle that you want to enter, I beg. I'm using God Almighty God to beg you. Don't enter the vehicle for your safety, for your family, and so that your family doesn't cry over you as well. And if you're inside a vehicle and the driver is speeding like he has a spare life somewhere, please beg him. Because what I've also realized is most of these vehicles that have these accidents, nothing to do with the driver. It's always the passenger. So please, if the driver is speeding, I know you're in a hurry to get to where you want to get to, but please tell the driver to tone it down. Moving on to this day newspaper, we have Wella urges action on women's rights, maternal health on International Women's Day. Next up in this day newspaper, we have federal government, Doctors Without Borders seek uninterrupted humanitarian operations. Those are the headlines from this day newspaper.
All right, heading on to Daily Trust. PDP flag pulled down in Zamfara. Government House as Deputy Governor leads key officials to APC. So we're seeing plenty defections to APC. And a lot of it is coming from governors,
Yo,
moving from PDP to APC or, their political parties to APC. And we know that all of these things are happening because this is just a quarter to 2027.
it was that too,
This
is correct.
that's a quarter to 2027. So you see a lot of defections, you hear a lot of things. I just hope that as Nigerians are seeing and hearing, it is doing us one kind in our body so that we will not be too comfortable. Okay, so that we know exactly what we're doing. We know exactly what to do when the time comes. Let's not forget that I think voters registration is still on, if I'm not mistaken. If you want to change your polling unit, go and do it right now. If you want to change your name or whatsoever on your voting card, please go and do it. Go out and do it right now, because at the end of the day, the leaders we have are just after what they can gain. They don't even want to leave those seats. That's why you find one person spending 20 something years in the same House of Assembly, in the same Senate, in the same kilo day. And when it's not like it's your birthright. So please, let's know what we're doing. Or let's get wiser. Let's know exactly what we're doing as Nigerians, because our political leaders will always be who they are. That's just it.
Yeah.
Although we know they're a reflection of the society, but at least inside bad eggs, I mean inside bad eggs, you go see one way it never rotten reach the other one. So at least, let's try to choose the lesser evil, at least. That's just it.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one on Daily Trust, re-election bid. Apex Court dismisses Ondo government's appeal, or governor's appeal rather. All right,
Right.
let's go on to the Vanguard.
In the Vanguard newspaper, we have federal government launches national single window to transform trade and port operations. Then we have Akpabio Olu of Wari, others hail Tinubu's choice of UN envoy.
All right, on the Premium Times, appeal courts invalidates PDP's Ibadan Convention, bars INEC from recognizing Turkish team's leadership. PDP have still not gotten their house in order, and this is a quarter to election like this.
Who is going to be their
They've not
presidential?
gotten their house in order. Only, well, we'll get to see it. Shebina at this same, we will know. In just little time to come, we'll definitely know, and we'll see. All right, terrorists attack two Nigerian military bases.
You see, say terrorists get mine to the attack military base as well. Moving on to the nation is where we have Tinubu meets Minister of State for Finance designate Oyedele at State House. Use Ramadan, Lent for repentance, moral reflection, says Hamzat. Mio, I've been looking for the federal government saying to Nigerians to bear with us with the fuel increase. I'm still looking for that headline. Maybe if somebody finds it, they can show me, they can point me that way, but I have not seen anything.
It's like nobody's concerned.
Yeah, because this morning we woke up to how much fuel price was going to be, and I've not seen anything from the presidency up until now. It is well. Okay,
Yeah,
moving on.
yesterday I was reading from a former colleague of mine, and he put up on social media, I think on Facebook, and he was saying something like, "Okay, fuel don't increase, so NLC TUC Alpha." So he just put question mark there. NLC TUC
Now,
question mark. What's up? Like, okay. So, and nobody's saying anything yet, but let's see how it goes.
Adeyemi, please mute yourself. I think they've been trying to mute you, but you seem to be unmuting yourself. We can hear like small conversation from your end, from your hand.
I'm muted. I don't know. I'm muted. My video is off. Everything is off. So I'm muted.
Oh.
So it has to do with you.
Okay, moving on to the Daily Post, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, have we done the cable?
No.
Okay, please go ahead.
On the cable, I had a Tiwa.
Carry on.
I had a Tiwa loses appeal against suit challenging his eligibility for 2028 on Doguba. And then opportunity to rebuild our party, Wike reacts to ruling nullifying PDP Ibadan convention.
Now, that Ibadan convention was the one that was the Turaki-led faction that happened. I think it was in November that it happened. Okay. Daily Post, we have gunmen abduct, kill Benue traditional ruler in Katsina, Allah. It is well. Police recruitment, Lagos Commissioner calls for transparency, warns applicants against fraud.
All right, on the Tribune, ADC flays Akpabio for dismissing opposition's objection to Electoral Act 2026. Another one says governments must pay attention to real estate to resolve unemployment, says Professor Nubi.
Finally, in the dailies this morning, we have this one from the pen pushing newspaper. Nigerian Railway Corporation officials assault university lecturer at train station. These days, and we know they even get respect to anybody. So anything goes. If you just beat anybody, anything goes. Police probe into assault on civil defense officer in Ogun State. Those are the headlines from the dailies this morning. The ones that we try as much as possible to make sure that they're exhaustive enough so that in case you're not reading online, so that you can be updated. But right now we are going to slide right in to the headlines that caught our eye this morning. I think our analyst is not inside here. But while we await him, we can go on into the first one this morning, which is really, really on fuel prices. I woke up this morning trying to prep for the show, and I was like, wait, what? And the reason why this is just so very, very funny for me is because I have something I want to do next week, and I'm like, let nobody come and tell me that price have increased. I would just start crying. I was just like, you know what? Right. But then even beyond that, we have epileptic power supply. So people are going to buy fuel for their generators, buy fuel for their vehicles, buy fuel for buses. Yesterday, Emmanuel was sharing with us how when he got to the bus stop yesterday morning, he met quite a few people there who could not enter bus because in normal Nigerian fashion, they had increased the rates, the transport fare rates, and people are like, if you've already budgeted 1.5 per day for your transport, how are you going to manage if you already have spent 1.5 in the morning and that 1.5 has not gotten you to your destination? Like, it's just very, very, I don't know. I was reading this morning and I remember exclaiming and saying to my husband, I said, just imagine. He said, what happened? I say, fuel prices in African countries are still stable. It is Nigeria that is not stable. Neighboring African countries, I'm talking Ghana, all the neighboring countries, their fuel prices, most of them are still very stable. You see our own. He then said, why are you surprised? I was like, why should I know? Like, are we not thinking? And here's the funny thing. This is how I know that this thing is really funny, because when President Trump came out to say, oh, the war with Iran will soon end, prices started stabilizing.
Yeah.
Actually reacting to something, not that the war that is going on there has started causing issue. No. They're just, including stock prices. Stock prices went down.
Yeah.
When this whole thing was, but as soon as he said, oh, it will soon end, stock prices started getting higher. Yesterday, Emmanuel was telling us how a barrel of oil is $17, right? per barrel. When President Trump said it now went up to 120 per liter of the barrel, per liter, not per barrel. As soon as he said, "Oh, there will be stability," guess what happened? It dropped down to $90. I said, "So people are funny." I don't
Just the market forces.
like I but before we even go on, our analyst is here. Good morning, Adeyemi. How are you this morning? You please unmute him, Benjamin. Okay. Hi, Adeyemi.
Good morning for
Good
me
morning.
and
We
good
cannot
morning.
see you.
It's not me now.
Oh, is your
Um,
video
it
on? Or maybe it's
it be the
network.
network. Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
it's
good
network.
morning for me. Good morning, Rose, and good morning to the entire family of Women Radio. It's good to be
Morning.
here on this day.
Awesome.
Yes, good
Awesome.
to be here.
I hope you
You
wished
too,
your wife
too.
Happy International Women's Day on Sunday.
Sorry, I forgot.
Hi. Let me just remind you that Mother's Day is on Sunday. Don't fall your hand. I'm helping you now, Ademi. If you need me to remind you, let me remind you.
Of course, that woman, Mother's Day, that one is Dolly now. But
Yeah.
International Women's Day, well,
Ademi is part of the haters of our haters that don't like you that we're celebrating so many women's whatever in the month of March. Ademi is hating on us. It's okay. It's all right. What can we do? What can we do? Anyway, Ademi, I'm sure that you've been seeing what's been happening in Iran, between Iran, Israel, and America. And what we've now been seeing is that now we are the ones that are collecting the backlash. Is it the backlash? Well, I don't even think we're the ones that are receiving it because, like I said before, you joined. I was reading this morning how many African countries their fuel prices are still stabilized. You know that it's not in our own case where we've had three fuel prices in the last maybe 5 days, I think, and the marketers are predicting that it will even get higher to up to maybe like 2,000 naira. But this article this morning I thought was really, really interesting because I didn't want us to come here again and say, "Oh, every Nigerians tighten your seat belts. Things are going to happen, or things are going to happen." But this article says that there are four options before the president with regards, the fuel price. And to be fair to this administration, you know, everything seemed to be normalizing. Inflation had gotten down to, I think, a single digit, no, 2 digits. I think it's just single digits I read. I've been seeing stability in prices of food, even in maybe fuel as well. Of which, as a sidebar, the way I've been giving what's his name? What's his name? John no, what's this man's name? The fall guy, Dangote. I've been giving him major side eye because I remember clearly that when people were fighting for Dangote to have his when there was that fight between him and the NMDPRA, all of them. I'm not sure it was Adeyemi that was saying it. That was like, look, this person is a capitalist and he's only interested in himself. And we're like, well, it's for the good of the nation, da da da. But it just seems that Dangote now seems to be the person who's determining the fuel prices. And I've been watching that man, I've been giving him major side eye. That this man, there's something here. But then according to this article, the president has and his administration have four options before them. Temporary subsidy, because we know that first subsidy has gone, and the oil and gas industry is deregulated. So, which is what is causing like for fluctuation of prices with the fuel. That's the first option. The second option would be to eliminate regulatory costs, right? Because, for instance, Dangote Refinery MD had said that the refinery deals with 47 government agencies and incurs costs from them, which they add to the final cost of petrol. So there's like so many levels of to this thing. The third option would be to be enhanced naira for crude deal. The naira was gaining against the dollar, but we're not like right now with this full thing. We don't even know what's going to happen. And then the fourth option would be safety nets. Unfortunately, Nigeria doesn't have, and that's something that Iman already talked about yesterday, that we don't really we don't do well with unforeseen circumstances. When it happens, it's almost like we're taken by surprise, which is not supposed to be the case, because as
Yeah,
the and you're supposed to preempt these things.
be
So for instance,
proactive about them.
be proactive about it. So unfortunately, I don't know how this one will work, the safety net one, because that's not something that we do well. So which one is going to work for us? Which one should the government do? Because if we get to 2,000 naira per liter, I'm not sure that people will be able to survive. Because in true Nigerian fashion, and we must speak to that, once they start seeing increment in prices, like you said yesterday, everybody just starts moving crazy. Everybody starts moving like they don't have the fear of God in them, and increasing prices of goods and services like they just bought that goods and services yesterday. Meanwhile, you don't get that stock for like 6 months. You no move. So is it now that you now increase it to 15,000 naira per whatever it you are selling that it will now move? But yeah, those are the options available. But I wanted to hear your thoughts, Ademi, on what you think. Go ahead, please.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I want to just cut in on what you said. You and Nima discussed yesterday that they don't prepare ahead. You see, in situation like this, if you say the government should prepare ahead, there is what we call a mechanism, financial mechanism we call derivatives. Derivatives means that they will have put a price ahead of it for the commodity in case of any fluctuation in price. But if that kind of price is put, as we speak, we Nigerians, we will say the government is pathetic. The government does not have human feelings. So that is the situation that when it comes like this, especially in the petroleum industry, derivatives is very, very important. It's hedging and the other instruments is very, very important because of the volatility of the price of petroleum, particularly in terms of fluctuation. And especially in situations like this, like we have way back, and the same situation that we are having at the moment. Having said that, you see, I look at Nigeria, that's NNPC. I'm sorry, I would have loved to use a particular word, but I want to be careful with that word this morning concerning the Nigeria NNPC. The reason is this: if our refinery were to be working, if Nigeria refinery were to be working apart from Dangote refinery, this issue of increment will not come to be at all. But as it is, Dangote is buying from us. So there is no way he wants to lose money. So he has to jack up because of the price of crude oil has gone up.
Right.
So that's what you are saying. But I did mean we have our own refinery working. The government will have this the subsidy is talking about. Will it not even come to be? There will be a way by which it will be sorted that NMPC can produce at this particular rate, and they will be given more crude oil just to cushion the situation. But what we are faced with today is that we don't have a refinery, and Dangote is the one producing. So all things being equal, we have to face it. You said most African countries are not their prices. You see, do you know the volume of the people that make use of petroleum products in Nigeria? You can't compare the population. You can't compare the population. That's where the problem lies. If you go to the filling station today, you will see that if care is not taken, when a trailer load of petroleum product comes into the filling station, before evening, is exhausted. It's to tell you the volume that people we are consuming in this nation when it comes to petroleum products. So it's one of the reasons why there is no way that Dangote will not say, I want to continue to lose. No, he's there like we always all known. He's a businessman, and every business is profit oriented. So we must understand that. And I said it sometimes when you were mentioning the other time. I'm the one that I always been saying Dangote is a capitalist. I always refer to all what is happening in other sector of the economy. I made mention of the cement industry when it came in, and now the prices of cement went up. But all things being said, today, what can we do as a country? Like what the other guy analyzed, he gave us four options, and he ended up giving us another one, which is a combination of two of the options. So what can the government do? The only way, to me, that I feel is better, which I will implore the government of the day to look into, is those multiple levies that are being collected by all the organs of these petroleum bodies. If those ones are removed, it affects the prices of the commodity. It will help in that situation. Yes, you may say the revenue being generated will be reduced, but in the first place, why must we have multiple levy for just one same product?